You are watching Melody Lane. With me you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Well, hello everyone, it's Holly with Melody Lane Inspired, and Easter is almost here, like in a week. So I wanted to make an Easter egg, a layered card, and I'm gonna actually make this card. It's gonna be completely glue-free, so I'm not gonna use any glue. I am gonna use the Smart Paper Sticker cardstock for a lot of my layers. I'm using regular cardstock for the base layer. And then for the inside, I'm going to use, because you know I love using iron-on cards, I'm going to use some of the Cricut Everyday Iron-On. And I haven't decided which two colors I'm going to use. And all three of these just came out with their new products. So we have mint, rose gold, and then coral. So we're just going to pair this with some purple cardstock as the base. Then each layer is just going to be sticker cardstock that we're just going to peel and stick on. And then I'm going to also use white sticker cardstock for the inside. And then we're going to go ahead and put the iron-on that. So here is the card we're going to be making. The You Are Somebody Special is actually going to be on the inside of that. So once we hit make it, we're going to go ahead and choose multiple ways because I am using that Smart Paper Sticker cardstock, so I don't have to put that on a mat, but then the iron-on and the regular cardstock will go on the mat. As you see, the material load type is without mat, and then for the pieces I do need a mat on, I can go ahead and change that. And this layer is the Smart Paper Sticker cardstock, so I'm just going to go ahead and select that, and now we're ready to load. Here we go. It turned out pretty good. I was right about the little flowers, and it looks great. Now, because this is Smart Paper cardstock, I don't have to use a mat with it. Which, when you use it without a mat and it's Smart Paper, it actually cuts faster too. However, I had a piece of scrap paper here. It wasn't the full size, so that's why I went ahead and put it on the mat. I always like to bend mine over to keep it from curling up. Now this is a full sheet of sticker paper cardstock, so we do not have to use the mat on it, and it's going to cut faster. I'll go ahead and load this in. Now you can see how fast it does cut on the Smart Paper. That is one thing I love about the Smart Paper. It is so stinking fast. This is our regular cardstock, so we are going to put this on a mat and then just choose medium cardstock in design space. I almost forgot that this requires a scoring wheel here. Forgot I was on that page. I was just, when you're flowing and you forget. But it reminded me on design space. I'm going to go ahead and put the single scoring wheel in clamp B. If you don't have the scoring wheel, you can also use the scoring stylus that came with the machine. Well, it's letting me know to go ahead and switch back and put my fine point blade in. I always like to just check my blade while it's out, make sure there's no debris on it. There. And now we have our card base. Now we're going to go ahead and cut our everyday iron-on. So I'm going to go ahead and select that as my material. In here, it's always going to let you know with iron-on, make sure your mirror is turned on and that your iron-on is shiny side down. So to turn my mirror on, I'm just going to hit edit there. Go ahead and click on mirror. Now I have my mint iron-on here, and this is the shiny side, so we're just going to make sure that is side down. And then I've also decided to go with the rose gold, so I'm going to get that ready and cut down to a size. The new rose gold, because look, is that not beautiful? I do love me some rose gold. Okay, now we're just going to weed our iron-on. Just going to make sure when you're poking, look at your design, you just want to make sure you're not going through your design. I always start in a corner, at an angle, poke through. Be careful. So now we just gotta go ahead and weed out the little centers of the letters. All the pieces comes out of there. These are little inside, so I always like to get my finger further up on the weeding tool just for more control when I'm doing those little pieces. And he's got a little bunny tail in there too, so I'm gonna pull out his little foofy tail. Comes Peter Cottontail up and down bunny trail. Okay, now we have all of our pieces together, so we're gonna go ahead and just start assembling this with no glue. I am gonna use my Easy Press here for the iron-on. If you don't have a press or you don't have iron-on, you could also actually use sticker cardstock for the inside, which this piece would be easy. You would just have to place, it would all be pretty easy. You just have to place the bunny, each letter individually. But these are cursive, so these would just each word would be one sticker. So you could actually use the same sticker cardstock and do the inside. I just wanted to put some iron-on on there. And it makes it really easy because you don't have to transfer any little pieces. This project is available to all our supporters on patreon.com/melodylane. And I did in the project, I named each layer. So like first layer, second layer, so you know which layer you put on in which order. Now, as you're pulling this up, it's weeding itself. I just want to be careful as you do it. We have our flowers. As you can see, it left the little flower stuck on there. Now, the little centers of the flowers, and I just thought of this right now, I'm going to need the little centers of the flowers. So we can take the little centers out and stick them on the card. I don't know. But it's sticky on the back, so we're just going to go ahead and stick this on. Just be careful with your alignment. Okay. So now we stuck the first layer down, and there's just a tiny little bit up on the top. Now, obviously getting it exactly perfect on there is a little difficult. But we do have a ring that's going to go around the top side, so that's going to cover if there's any little hanging over, which is, that's good peace of mind right there. I'm just saying. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm just going to grab the centers of the flowers. And I have the center of the flower. I'm just using my Quikstick and grab this on Amazon, but this is perfect for those little pieces. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick it right in the middle of the flower. There we go. Then go grab it with the little stickum. I get it on my weeding tool, and I just come in with my little Quikstick. Boom. Boom. And I seem to have lost one of my little tiny dots, so I'm just going to take the little flower that I cut out, the part that I'm not using, and I'm just going to go ahead and make one of these a little circle. Okay, there, we got that part finished. Now, say you didn't want to go ahead and take and transfer those little pieces over. If you wanted a quick little fix without having to transfer those, just take your Cricut white opaque pen, and you could literally just dot where you need the center of the flowers to be. Or you could leave the centers out if you wanted to. But I love using this handy dandy thing. I always use this for teeny tiny little pieces because it can stick it up. It sticks to it. Peel this off. There we go. Oh, it's stuck. There we go. You can go ahead and keep that bunny too. You can go ahead and use that on other projects, so don't throw that away. And this one, I'm looking at the bunny to line it up, so it's a little easier than just doing the whole egg because you're trying to line that bunny pattern up. Just like so. There is that layer finished. But we're going to keep this because we want to grab our little pieces of the insides of the letters here. There we go. I'm going to grab my weeding tool and grab these little pieces again. I'm going to use my Quikstick. Now I just lost the tiny little A, insert of the A and the E. So I could go ahead and cut this again. If I wanted to get those, I could just cut literally those little pieces. But instead, I have scrap over here. Took a little scrap piece and went ahead and cut the centers for the two little tiny pieces that went missing. Because when you deal with little tiny pieces, it's so often that I lose one. When they're teeny tiny, they end up somewhere. They're stuck somewhere. I'll find it stuck to me later on, I'm sure. The weirdest spot. But that was an easy fix. Just use the scrap and then cut a little bit to put in the center. Or you could have just recut you could have contoured this piece out and only cut the center pieces if you wanted to. But chances are, I know I might have lost that one again. They were so tiny. So I just went ahead and used the scrap and cut those. I almost forgot to put the little centers of my flower. You can just use your, oh, there we go. Just use your Cricut tweezers there. Then you can go ahead and just place it. There we go. So the outside of our card is done. Isn't that cute? Now, if you wanted to pop up the layers, you could put little dots underneath, little foam dots, and it'll pop it up so it's more layered. Okay. So we can set this to the side. Now we are going to do our iron on. Well, now I went ahead and set the settings right to the Cricut Easy Press from the Cricut Heat app. And it's letting me know we're going to do, it's set for 5 seconds as you see. That is for the preheat. And we're going to do it at 280 degrees. So it's a 5-second preheat. Easy Press 3 works with the Heat app, which is awesome because you just put in your material, what you're transferring it to, and then you send the settings right to your press. If you do not have the one that works with the heat, if you don't have the Easy Press 3 that works with the Heat app and you're using another heat press, just go to cricut.com/heat guide and that will give you the instructions there, and then you'll just go ahead and manually set it on your machine. But I love the send settings to press. It's such an easy feature. As you can see, it's green and we have reached temperature, so we're going to go ahead and start our press here. Myself a little bit more room. Set it right on. Lift it off. And now we can go ahead and align our iron on. I just want to make sure my other one's going to fit. I'm doing this one at a time because you can't have the transfer material overlap. It's going to stick to the other iron on. Okay. That looks good to me. I'll set that on there. Now, even though directions say 30 seconds, because we're doing multiple layers, we're just going to press this first layer for 10 seconds. And then the final layer we'll do for the full 30 seconds. Oh, I had a little piece. Now you want to wait for this to cool before you peel it, but there's going to be a little bonus piece because right next to the thumb there's a little piece I didn't notice. So there is a lesson for you. Make sure you check that there's no other little pieces stuck to your iron on. Now, it's okay if your transfer does hang over on the other iron-on here because this iron-on is already ironed to the material, so it's fused to the material. So once we press this, it's not going to stick to it. And use my Teflon protective sheet here. If you have butcher paper from infusible ink, you could also put that on top. But we want to protect our first layer here from the direct heat from the heat press. There we go. And now we're gonna do this one for the full 30 seconds because it is our final layer. So if you have more layers than this, you're going to do the same. You're going to do about 10 seconds for each layer, and then go ahead and do the 30 seconds for the final one. When you put your Easy Press on, you just want to make sure it is covering your whole image. There we go. Turn that off. Ooh, and this is hot, so be careful. Your Teflon sheet does get hot there. And honestly, this is the first time I've done iron-on the sticker cardstock. I wasn't quite sure. I'm like, how will that go with the adhesive already on it? And I Googled and you couldn't find much on it. So I was like, let's give it a go and let's see. Because honestly, the only way we're going to find out is if we try it. I could have used regular cardstock, but honestly, I was just trying to make this whole thing glue-free without any glue. So sticker cardstock was the way to go. And it looks like it's working pretty darn well. We'll see actually when we go to, we'll know how the adhesive is once we go to stick that on the inside. Now that it's cool, we can go ahead and peel the carrier sheet off. And there is the inside. Isn't that pretty? I love these new, the mint and the rose gold color. I'm a huge fan of rose gold. And you know I love teal and aqua. Okay, so now we're just going to peel our sticker cardstock off here. And the adhesive on the back feels great, so I really feel like the iron-on the sticker cardstock worked a-okay. I'm just going to add a little sparkle with my Stickles here diamond, and I'm just going to put it on the center of the flowers there, just to add a little sparkle. There we go. Add a little sparkle wherever you can. And there is the front of the card. Inside, you are somebody special. Oh. So there is our layered bunny Easter egg card. I love it. The little sparkle just adds just enough. Just perfect. And the new mint and rose gold looks perfect there. So this project and over 1,000 more are in our projects on melodylaneinspired.com. You can just go to patreon.com/melodylane for more info on that. Because not only do you get access to all those projects, but we have our 24/7 craft Zoom where you make crafty friends, get lots of tips, do projects together. So you can go ahead and check patreon.com/melodylane for more info on joining our Patreon family. And I want to thank you guys for joining us today. If you could give us the like and the subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, got to give many, many thanks to our admins, our supporters, our sponsors, because you guys, you are all somebody special. You really are. So hope you guys have a craftastic week. Have a wonderful Easter and happy crafting, everyone. Bye. Toodles from Alex.